Okay, so I'm on YouTube here, and I'm connected to I'm Not Norm on YouTube, right? Norm Macdonald got into reading about God and Christianity in his last few years. That's the title of the YouTube video. And so Norm's talking about, why does God allow? Why does God allow? Why does God allow? Why does God allow? That makes it hard for me to believe because I'm too busy blaming God for all the BS that people are doing. That's foolishness. And for that to have some kind of adjustment, on how you believe is asinine. It's asinine. That's the ego trying to interfere with your thinking processes. So bear with me. This is what I wrote. This is what I typed into the message below. This information has been with us for centuries. Metaphysics and ontology are real forms of thought. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Kant, C.G. Jung, and many others have brought this divine essence to us in their writings. Life has a purpose. It's not for us to ask why babies die or why many people have done abortions, except to stand up against it, which we are doing right now. Our responsibility is to learn and project these teachings of Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, C.G. Jung, Kant, and the Bible, and other writings. It's all the logos. It's all divine. Where was I? Project these teachings in our lives. When we put our bullshit onto God, and how can God do this or that to us, or how can God allow this, that ain't on God. That's up to us. We're the ones. We're the ones. We are responsible to prove every day that 2 times 2 equals 4. The invisible, indivisible essence back behind and above this is our essence. What we choose to do with this essence is on us, not God. God is not anthropomorphic. We are. We're hands and legs. We don't look above. What are we looking above at? The sun, the universe, the planets, the moon, all the stars, universe. Ain't nothing up there to see. What we should be looking at is what's here. The mountaintop in the Bible is here. It isn't the mountaintop, Mount Rainier or Mount Everest or whatever. The mountaintop is here. It's metamorphic. It's allegorical. Again, God is not anthropomorphic. We are. You and I are. The Jesus the Christ character personality was. It's our responsibility to prove heaven exists in us. And because of us in our lives, not God's issue, it's ours. Heaven exists in here. The more input we data, like for instance, you got Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Kant, C.G. Jung. You got Einstein. Right now, Elon Musk. He's doing his thing, right? That's divine. That's service to the public. All those guys, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Kant, C.G. Jung, they all serve the public. How? By their writings. We read. Then we understand, we perceive what they wrote. Even the ones who are a little bit off. I mean, Hitler and all of them, they got their issues to deal with. And we're supposed to learn from that and not repeat it again. That's on us. We're the ones who are supposed to understand those things and hinder that. Not only that, but it was all a setup in politics and all this kind of stuff. It's still on us to not only project, exhibit, portray, and manifest heaven in us, around us, in our lives, and in our environment. It's up to us. That's why we connect with people like Jordan Peterson, C.G. Jung, of course, now he's gone. Elon Musk right now, right? And we don't connect with guys like Fauci and Gates and Soros and all those kind of guys, because their egos are controlling them. Their manipulated constructs, their pathological sociopathic tendencies are what's urging them. That's their unction. Those of us who are you call it fighting the good fight, or just processing the information in our consciousness to where we get into a pattern of serving the general public with our intelligence in a very beautiful, loving, compassionate fashion, to dig and garner information and share that to the public. That is, in a fashion, the divine essence working in us, trying to lift this, the way we think, we manifest and whatnot, lift this to higher levels of understanding and make at least our lives and our environment as pleasing as possible to us, with an ethos that corresponds to 2 times 2 is 4, or the divine. That's our responsibility, not God's. For people to say, how does God allow this? Let me ask you a question. God is 2 times 2 is 4. Completely neutral. Doesn't care how it's used. If a person uses 2 times 2 is 4 to build a house, that's a good thing. If a person uses 2 times 2 is 4 to transcend and become enlightened and not be manipulated by irrational data that zigs away from 2 times 2 is 4, stand on your own 2 feet and think. That's why we have the capacity to think. That's what this is for. To think. That's the benefit, and process information and then move forward. So people to ask why God allows this, it ain't up to God. That's like blaming 2 times 2 is 4 for people laundering money. That 2 times 2 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4 is building this cell phone, is writing a book. 2 times 2 is 4 that develops people, serves people. A laptop, computers, podcasts. What I'm doing here is 2 times 2 is 4. Designing a car or a truck or whatever that benefits all of society. That's 2 times 2 is 4. All this other stuff, it's just something that we have to process and deal with. All right? And fight back and educate people. If everybody on the planet was educated in the realm of 2 times 2 is 4, understanding it the best they can within their cognitive capacities, this world would be a different place. It would not be the same. If everybody in this world, every person on this entire planet, all 7.5 billion, 8 billion people, were all educated under the auspices, under the umbrella of the speed of light, the speed of sound, the law of gravity, 2 times 2 equals 4, we would experience heaven. We would experience heaven. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.